everybody, your typical bull here, and it is the first day of the year as far as, well, trading goes. First trading day of the year. And, well, I am ending that day green at 9:15 a.m. And I am doing another trade recap here for you. We're going to go over my watch list and all of the setups. I took trades on two tickers today. Those tickers were GROM and JSPR, and we'll go over those last. But first of all, we are going to go over my watch list and how we come up with the watch list. Every single one of these was on today's top gainers list, printing pretty good volume. So first up on the list was Sorrento Therapeutics. The float on this is 465 million, so that's a little too high to be taking trades on unless something spectacular happens. And as you can see, nothing spectacular happened, but this was on the watch list because of this huge spike here in the after hours slash pre-market. But as we can see, we just kind of barcoded and did almost nothing all pre-market. So the biggest move we've had here since open on this guy's from $1.06 to $1.16, and that's if you get perfect entry, and really not any entries here. So this was not interesting pretty much at all, but it was on the list because it was on the top gainers list. CMMB, this one did a little better. We got a float here of 9.14 million. There were some setups here, but I did not trade this. So first off, this is on the watch list because of its gap up in the after hours, and of course here we have a nice setup, like straight out of the gates. As far as when pre-market opens, you get a nice pop-up and then a nice little consolidation sideways, and then we make a new high here at 474 and a run up to 540, which was a pretty good trade. You're looking here at the volume. You can see on all of these nice big upticks, we get one little false breakout here, large volume. Of course, the stop for that trade would go down here. So nice little breakout here. That one fails, still doesn't run down below VWAP. Another nice little breakout here on strong volume. So that's 2 times we've tried to pop this same level. And then on this third go here, we get that pop, huge breakout. You can tell here right off of this huge candle, and it runs straight from 480 all the way up to 540, which was an excellent trade. And then there's another trade here, straight out of open, right? So you get this little range break here at 469, and it runs all the way to 5 on the dot. And then of course, again, you see you get this little flat top consolidation sort of kind of form here. This one's a little riskier than the other setups because you almost would have had to take this right here at this break of VWAP. You can see volume starting to pick up here, but it's not quite. You could have taken this on the break of 5 here, which would have been, or break of 490 even, like the high over this candle with stops below this candle, but still it's kind of risky. And then of course it does pop, but after that it sort of fades off all day. I don't like where the stops would have had to go on this one, like, so that's kind of why I didn't take anything on it. But, and you'll see why also I wasn't taking anything on this because, well, the thing I did trade, once we get to it, it kind of, I mean, just flat out, there's no reason to be trading anything else. GROM, I took a couple of trades on this in the pre-market, and I'll show you those. So this was on the list. I actually started watching this in this area, around in here, and it starts to kind of flatten out, and then I actually took an entry on this over the high of this pivot, like right in here at 240, not 238. I got in at 238, and if it broke back down below this pivot, I was going to get out, but I ended up only taking about 20 cents from this, 238 to 258, for 90% of that, and then the last of that position I took off at like 262, I think. So it wasn't a big trade. And then I took another trade on this again when it pops back down to this level here and pops back over at 228. So I got in a second time at like 232, 234 somewhere ish in there, and got out at like 255. So again, like I made pretty much 40 cents total on those two trades on that. But we can see JSPR here is already halted again. This was the guy, right? So I'm watching this, and yeah, JSPR. This was again one of the only things in the pre-market that had a really good catalyst. Something about good positive data on some sickle cell therapy or something. Anyway, it freaking killed it. So I took my first trade on this at just over right here. I didn't, so very first entry on this, you can't really trade that, would be stops here underneath of this pivot, and entry just over the high of this flag candle, but I didn't take that entry because it is a bit riskier being below the VWAP. Second entry on this here, you see there's a nice whole dollar level here at this point, and it's kind of consolidating around that whole dollar there. The break of that whole dollar, I got in at $1 even because the tape started showing some strength there over $1, and people were buying and picking it up and picking it up and picking it up. And first targets here, obviously you're going to scale out on the way up. So my first targets here around $1.30 something. You can add this back once it breaks this 50 level, and then right out of open here it does halt at 165, halts up, and then after that it runs to 2. After into this second halt here, holding that into this third halt is kind of extremely risky. So if you do hold into this third halt, I'm gonna say it shouldn't be a full-size position. It should be runners. If you get a first halt, that's cool. You can hold through a nice halt up on these momentum stocks because, well, obviously right out of open it doesn't take much to halt some of these, and halting brings a lot of attention to something. So this one, it went from 165 and then opened again at 204 and then halted up again immediately. So best bet here would be anywhere in this $2 to 240 range. Is like put your limit order at $2 and get the hell out of there. And you would have ended up getting 240 because it opened at 240 here. I was completely out of everything here before, like right here at this $2 level. But it's still actually doing some setups now. It halted up again this time. It halted down 2 times, and then it starts consolidating. The entry on this current play would be here at 188 with stops at 172, with a target 1 of about 215, and then the final target looking for high day there. But yeah, that's pretty much my trading day. I traded 2 things. I didn't get the whole move, which is fine. You don't have to get the whole move. I traded from $1 to about $1 or $1.65 for most of it, and then $2 for some runners. And I left with a really good profit. And it's only 9:30, and now I have the rest of my day to do pretty much whatever I want to do. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. So please do like, subscribe, comment, and we will see you in the next video. Cheers.